Henderson. I'm a freshman at the University of Richmond in Virginia, but I live here. So I'm inspired by your story, Mr. Breslin. Thank you. I'll taking notes. Last year I was a senior in high school, and in March we had an opportunity to do senior projects. So you get to do basically whatever you want. Some people do service projects. I wanted to create a documentary talking to different Gabonese people. I visited Gabon in Central Africa. And so I was like super excited for this trip and how artsy it was going to be and how I was going back to the motherland, and I was so excited. And so I'm living with my host family, who are some family friends of my parents. And so the father, my host's father, is very adventurous. He always likes to do things, and he'd play around with my mom in the past when they were younger, and he always was like, okay, let's just go on an adventure. Just do an adventure thing. I'm very by the book. So I'm like, okay, what kind of adventure are we talking about? Like, what are we really going to be doing? So we get to the house, and they live in Libreville, Gabon, which is the capital, and they're pretty wealthy, so they were living in this big house. I was like, I'm so fancy and cool in Africa, and they're like, we're gonna go on these excursions, and I was like, okay, cool. So the first excursion, just a little tidbit from that, we went to this little island, and it was really pretty, it was really exciting. It was like an old hospital, so very historical as well, and I was really excited to be there. But we go on this boat, we're gonna just go off. They're like, yeah, no, it's fine. We know the driver of the boat, it's totally cool. I was like, awesome. So the whole time though, the driver of the boat, I'm sure there's a name for that, but I can't think of it, were the boatmen, yes. He was speaking in French, and I studied French, since 7th grade, but this is real French. So I was like, okay, and so they're talking, and I'm like trying to pick up little things that are happening, and I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, cool, awesome. And I think I'm understanding, and then all of a sudden I hear, oui, les crocodiles, and I was like, crocodile. I was like, that just sounds like crocodile, and I know they can't be talking about crocodiles in this water that we're in right now. They can't be talking about that. But there were, so they're like, yeah, my host daddy's like, they're all around, but it's fine. He's all into this adventure. So I was like, yeah, no, okay, cool. So then they're like, oh, there's also like hippopotamus. They were talking about that, and they just come out and they pop out of the water. And I was like, wow, here, right where we are, right here. Okay, great. And if you know me, like I'm afraid of bugs. I feel on edge when there's like a fly in the room. So anyway, that excursion was that, and I wasn't super excited to go on our next excursion, but our next one was to this island that was like 3 hours away, so we had to go on another boat, to get there. And so we get to the shipyard, and looks like there was like 2 different destinations. So the first one, all these people were going, a lot of tourists looked like they were going, and I was like, perfect. They're all confused just like me, and we're all gonna be in it together. And there's literally like hundreds of people going over here. Then, over here, there's like 2 or 3 people getting on this little boat. Looks like it can carry about 10 people. There's 5 of us. And he's like, oh yeah, we're going there. I was like, yeah, of course we're going there. Of course we are. Awesome. So we take this boat ride, and I was having a bad hair day, so I was wearing this hat, and it kept falling off, and I was like, ugh, and it was just messy. Anyway, we get there, and we have to go on this sort of, I'm calling it a safari, sort of, to get through to where we are at the water's edge. Where we're supposed to be. And so going through this, my host sisters were 10 and 14. And you know, like when you're like on a plane and you look at the flight attendant and she's feeling calm. And so you're like, we're good. Like even if there's turbulence, you're good because the flight attendant is good. And so I was looking at them and looking at my host mom for kind of, reassurance. And they were fine. So I was like, okay, we're good. And then all of a sudden my host mom is like, I'm just feeling really sick. I don't know what's happening. So they were like, we have to stop the car. So they stop the car, and she gets out with her husband, and they like walk around. So I'm here with my 2 little host sisters and all these random people I don't know. And I was like, okay, cool. Again, a lot of French happening, and I'm hearing animals and things around me, and they're like, okay, no, it's okay. So we finally get to our destination. I was like, wow, I've really weathered it. Like this American girl, like look at me, I'm great. And this was really a big feat for me. So then they're like, okay, well, no, we're going on the real safari. It's a 4-hour thing where you go out and you stop, and there's gonna be elephants that come by and different animals. And I was like, cool. So like, what are we? I'm gonna be in something? Like, no. It's just an open air adventure. I was like, oh yeah, okay. That's great. So awesome. So basically, we're going through, and it was beautiful, but I also was kind of like alarmed because I had seen videos. My 10-year-old host sister had showed me all these videos about the animals that were here. She's like, look, it's the jaguars and the elephants. It's so cool. And I was like, awesome. Like, I'm so excited to be here with all the jaguars. So we're going through, and bugs are flying in my face, and I'm like halfway crying because I'm like, why am I so emotional here? And all of a sudden we're in this sort of, it's a wooded area, forest, jungle, and then we come out into this sort of open, it's like, wow, I'm forgetting all my words, but there's the grass, and it's like a plain. Thank you. We're in the plane, and it almost was like a movie, where it just opens up, and it was so beautiful that actually tears of joy came to my eyes. And I hate nature, I hate bugs, as I said, and I didn't want to be there. But in this moment, I realized that all of the chaos, all of it was worth it for this view that I wish I could still be able to see and just tap into today, because even the pictures don't really match it. So that was a little story about how chaos can sometimes equal beauty in the end.
India, everybody.